Okay, let's look at plastic containers. Let's look at plastic containers. Plastic containers. Okay, actually, generally, plastics are synthetic polymers of high molecular weight. Plastic are synthetic polymers of what? High molecular weight. So basically, inherently, plastic undergo the following issues. Is that clear? I have mentioned some of them. I've talked about permeation, right? That's why you can get plastic. The plastic can something from outside can actually enter the content of a plastic. Is that clear? I give you an example of
That one is leaching.
no leaching is the component of this plastic. You know,
Okay, entering.
entering it. If something is coming from outside and entering the product is
That's
permeation. Is that clear? We have permeation, we have leaching, we have sorption, we have sorption, we have chemical reactivity, we have modification. So we'll look at 5 of them. So let's start from permeation. Permeation is the transmission of what? Gases, vapor, or liquid through a plastic what? Packaging material. Okay? Have you seen it now from outside, right?
yes.
So actually, this is a major problem, especially if the drug is prone to what? Hydrolysis and what? Oxidation. Now, this may actually cause loss of volatile drug, or it can even cause change in the taste of the what? Medicines. Even the water, have you noticed that the water, this water you call table waters, the one in sachet, the one what is it called? The one you call
Sachet water.
sachet water now. If you keep it close to a perfume, if you keep it close to a perfume, then maybe like a day or some hours, and bring it out, open it and pour it in bottle and drink it, you'll be testing perfume. Are you aware? Yes. The molecule of the perfume, it actually, it's not just about the odor. It entered. It's not about the odor alone. It entered. It affected the taste. So what if the products, what if the people that stock that water are not careful enough? They are careless set of people, and they keep it close to something that is poisonous or toxic, that have no taste or odor. You may be drinking it without even knowing there's something. God will save us. That's why food should be regulated the same way drug is regulated. Those people that are producing pure water, the one you call pure water, should not just produce and be sharing to the people. They should, anybody that want to stock their product, they should assess the warehouse where they are stocking it. Is it up to standard? You know, a warehouse should not contain what you toxic. A warehouse where you store what people eat should not contain what is toxic or poisonous to the system. These are things. It's not to produce and carry vehicle and be carrying water and be. But as people are buying, you that is producer, who is your wholesaler, who is the distributor, where they stock those products, how is it? Then you that is a wholesaler, that retailer that comes to you to buy, how is the place he stocked that 20 bags he bought from you? You monitor what they are doing. That's business, and that's how to safeguard people's life. All right, let's continue. So the next one is what? Leaching. So leaching is actually the process by which the ingredient used in the production of the plastic container, have you seen it now? Enter the contained medicinal product. So what the components of that particular container will now come out and start entering the what? The product. So this can be very, very toxic, especially if the product is what? Parenteral. This can be very what? Toxic, especially if the product is what? Parenteral. Are we together?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So the next one is what? Suction. The next one is what? Suction. What is suction? Okay, so hope what I said about leaching and the permeation, they are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's look at suction. Suction is the removal of the constituent of the medicinal product by the plastic. So, product is in plastic. The plastic will now start removing the constituent of the what? Product. Maybe there's some content of the product that the plastic can react with. Is that clear? It will be taking them up. It's called what? Sumption. Sumption. Is that clear? So it's the removal of constituent of the medicinal product by the plastic. So sumption changes the what? The physicochemical properties and the concentration of the active what? Ingredient. So when it's busy taking up what is inside the constituent of this particular product, especially the active ingredient, it will change its chemical and physical property because a new product will be formed. True of us. And at the same time, concentration of that active ingredient inside the product will go down because it is being taken up. And when this happens, in general, the efficacy of that product will do what? Go down. So the product will become less active again because of the what? The loss of the what? Active what? Ingredients. So this is what happened in what? Sumption. Now let's look at chemical reactivity. Sometimes too, not most of the times, or sometimes a chemical reaction may do what? Occur between the what? The drug product and the what? Some ingredient of the plastic. So sometimes a chemical reaction may occur between some ingredient of the drug and some ingredient of the what? Plastics. For example, now, oil. This oil you see, oil softens what? Polyethylene containers. Oil softens polyethylene container. You see here now, polyethylene is PET. Polyethylene, PET. That's the abbreviation for polyethylene. If you put oil in this now, oil makes it soft. Have you noticed it? Oil, leave it oil in this for it softens it. Are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware? Okay, you aren't aware. Oil softens polyethylene container. Are you aware?
I know it's hot oil can soften.
Whether it's hot or oil softens it. That's the most important thing. Is that clear? Unlike water. True of us. Unlike water. Now, then at the same time, hydrocarbons attack polyethylene containers and polyvinyl chloride (PVC). Hydrocarbons attack polyethylene and polyvinyl chloride. Do you know why these things are important to know? So that when you are doing your packaging, you know your choice of what? Container to use, plastic container to use. Having known the type of product you have. So you wouldn't want to get the product that we have without reacting with your what? Container. Or you wouldn't want a container that will start what it was supposed to protect, because the container is there to protect the product against loss, entrance of oxygen and what have you, and CO2, and against atmospheric condition. What it was supposed to protect is there doing what? Reacting with it. It's a problem. True of us. Just like calling a dog to help you guard your meat. Even though someone that's calling dog to guard meat, I don't understand what the person wants to achieve. But for example, now the dog will now go and start eating the meat. You want it to guard, or maybe you employ a security personnel to help you guard your house. The security now is one that is now doing what? Robbing you, just like that. So these are what we should look at, or what I mean by chemical reactivity. Then another effect, another changes is what? Modification. What is modification? Modification is the alteration of physical chemical properties of plastic by the drug. Please remember that modification and sorption, they have opposite. Are you aware? Look at it critically. They are somewhat opposite, right? In sorption, the material from the product, from the plastic, enter the product, react with it, and change the physical chemical property of the what? The product, right? But in modification now, as that constituent enter the product and change its constituent, on the same way, backward reaction, the container is being modified. As solution is taking place, and constituent entering the product and reacting with it, and they producing another thing altogether, and they altering the physical chemical properties of the what? Product. At the same time, in backward reaction, the plastic container, the physical properties of the plastic container is also being what? Affected. That's what we call what? Modification. So modification is the alteration of the physical chemical properties of the what? Plastic by the drug product. For example, now, oil have softening effect on what? Polyethylene. Is that clear? That means if you use if you use polyethylene to package oil, sorry, you may end up losing the product. Is that clear? Good, that's the meaning. Then why hydrocarbon attack what? Polyethylene or polyvinyl chloride. It's just opposite of it anyway. As this one is happening to this one, in the backward reaction is happening to container 2 at the same time. So let's look at types of plastic containers. Let's look at types of plastic containers. There are two main types of plastic containers. They are the thermoplastics and the thermoset plastics. Thermoplastic and thermoset what? Plastics. So what are thermoplastic? This one now, they get softened by heat and can be molded. Are you aware that? Look up. This is a plastic. Are you aware that thing there, that thing you call nylon there? Look at, touch it. It's a plastic too.
Yes.
This is a plastic. Then that your fry pan, that black end of your fry pan you hold to prevent the being burnt, your hand being burnt, right? Of the heat, not be too much on your hand. That hard black, it's also a plastic, but it's strong. But it's not a plastic that you can use to make that end of that place you hold your hand, that handle. No. It's a different type of plastic. We call it thermoset. They're very strong. But other ones are thermoplastics. Once heat touch it. If once heat get to them, they will melt. But that one can withstand heat. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
It can withstand heat. So let's go deep. So thermoplastic, thermoplastic are softened. So this thing now is a thermoplastic. Put heat now to just soften and melt. Is that clear? Now, so thermoplastic are what? Are softened by heat, and they can be what? Molded. If you can melt this one and mold it immediately, true or false, to something else. Examples of thermoplastic we have here: acrylic, polypropylene (PPE), polystyrene, polyethylene or ethylene, and PVC. PVC is polyvinyl chloride. Please note these abbreviations and what they mean, okay? Now, thermoplastics. Thermoplastics are basically used for sterile products. They are used for what? Sterile products. That is, what are sterile products? What do you understand by term sterile product? If you say that the product is sterile, what does it mean?
To be free from microbes.
Good. So they are used for sterile preparation, such as large and small volume parenteral, large and small volume parenteral, and ophthalmic solution. So they are used to package ophthalmic solution, large and small volume parenterals. These are examples of what? Sterile preparations. Even water for injection. It's also what?
Sterile water.
Sterile. You've seen water for injection plastic packaged in plastic container, right?
Yes.
Good. The one popular in Nigeria, the one I think that one is made in Nigeria. Not I think it's made in Nigeria by Johel. I don't know any other one that's made in Nigeria. If there's other one that's
The plastic one.
plastic what I mean water for injection in general. So these are examples of what thermoplastic, okay? Good. Now, the next one is what? Thermoset plastics. So this one, once they are formed, forget it. They are formed. So this one are formed by heat process and then set like concrete. Do you understand what I mean by when something is set?
It cannot be changed.
Change the shape form cannot be changed. You know those people that are doing concrete now. Once they are done, once they pour it here, it's liquid though. It's in semi-solid, right? Or most times sometimes a liquid set. But once they pour it here, leave it for some time, it will take the shape of whatever where they pour it inside. If they pour it inside this if I mix cement now and pour it inside this bottle, it will enter as what? Liquid or semi-liquid or semi-solid. Even ordinary liquid, it can enter as liquid. Cement I mix, only cement, pour it, mix water. You can pour it inside this container as a liquid. Fill this container and keep it. After some time, it will set. It will become what? Solid. That's what you call setting. And once it's set, you cannot mold it. You cannot change the shape. Highest, the worst you can do is to do what? Break it. That's all. And before you break it, you know now what you are going to do. You can, if you get knife and cut off this container, what you see is the shape of this what? Container. It has set. So that's what we mean by what? Setting. So thermosets are formed by heat process and set and then set like concrete. And once they set, they cannot change their shape by heating. Unless you are destroying them. They are hardened reversibly by cross-linking. I mentioned about cross-linking when we talk about the disintegrants before, if you can remember, in our 152. Now, examples of thermoset plastics are melamine. So that one, melamine are used in your kitchen worktops. There are people, apart from you using it at the handle, I would still talk about the type of thermoset that use a handle. In some, if you go to some kitchen, their kitchen this thing, the kitchen what is it called? Tell me now, women, what do you call it? Is it cupboard? Cabinet, good. Some of them are the top is black plastic, very strong plastic. It's thermoset. That plastic is called what? That is called what? Melamine. Is that clear? Melamine. So we also have bakelite. Bakelite is one used as saucepan black handle. You have fry pan or saucepan, even some pots, kettle have it, right? Yeah. Black. That one is called bakelite. Bakelite. Then we have polyester, epoxy resins. These are examples of what? Thermoset plastic. Please note these examples, okay? So apart from these two main classifications I mentioned, plastic can also be classified as amorphous plastic or crystalline plastic. Amorphous or what? Crystalline plastic. So amorphous plastic are transparent, while crystalline plastic are opaque. Amorphous plastic are hard. Crystalline plastic are hard, but they have little brittleness. Amorphous plastic are more permeable to gases and vapor. Please note these differences. Amorphous plastic are more permeable to gases and what? Vapor. While crystalline plastics are less permeable to what? Gases and what? Vapor. Amorphous plastic are less inert. They are less inert, while crystalline plastic are more inert, especially when they come in contact with what? Sensitive what? Drugs. Photosensitive drugs. Are we together? Eh?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's look at the plastics used for pharmaceutical containers. So those plastics that are used for pharmaceutical containers, let's look at what they are, the component that they are usually made up of. Let's look at the component that they are usually made up of. So the component that this plastic are made up of are as follows. They are the one are made up of what? Polyethylene, which is PET, right? Polypropylene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, polymethyl methacrylate, aminoformaldehyde, and polycarbonates. I said polyethylene, polypropylene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, polymethyl methacrylate, aminoformaldehyde, and carbonates. So let's pick them one after the other. Let's look at polyethylene. Let's look at polyethylene. Let's look at polyethylene. So polyethylene is very, very what? Light and flexible, even though they are tough. They are tough plastic, but they are light and what? Flexible. As you can see them. They are tough, but they are what? Light and what? And what? Flexible. They are light and what? See. They are flexible, right? But they are not that, they are tough, but they are flexible. And they are what? Light. Okay. They are impermeable to water vapor. They do not deteriorate with age unless exposed to sunlight for a long time. So keep this in sunlight for a long time, they become what? They deteriorate, they become brittle. If you press it, they'll break. Is that clear? For a long time. Put flour here now, in this thing now. Keep outside, under the sun. Give it like some years. Touch it, it will break. Please note this point. I said they are not permeable to what? Water vapor, right? But they are permeable to some oil and preservatives. They are permeable to what? Some oil and what? Preservatives. Note them, okay? They have high melting points, about 110 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius. And they can be sterilized by what? Autoclaving. Because of the high melting point, they can be sterilized by what? Autoclaving. So they can withstand high temperature. So you can sterilize them by what? Autoclaving. They're divided into two. We have the one we call high density polyethylene, and we have the one we call what? Low density what? Polyethylene. High density polyethylene, PHDPE. Low density polyethylene, LDPE. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So high density polyethylene, they are rigid, and they can withstand temperature of up to what? 120 degrees Celsius. So the high density one, they are highly what? They have high temperature, they are rigid, and they can withstand high temperature up to what? 120 degrees. Why the low density polyethylene, they are what? Flexible. They can only withstand temperature of up to 80 degrees Celsius. They can only withstand temperature up to what? 80 degrees Celsius. So what do we use polyethylene and polypropylene for? We just look at let's just combine their uses of polyethylene and what? Polypropylene, but they are just I'll just mention them and pass. We are not going deep into all of them like that. Let's just mention them. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So basically, they are mainly used for what? Parenteral plastic containers. Please note that point. Parenteral what? Plastic containers. So low density polyethylene and polystyrene are generally non-autoclavable. Please do note that point. Low density polyethylene and what? Polystyrene are generally non-what? Autoclavable. So you cannot autoclave them because they cannot withstand high what? Temperatures. Is that clear?
Yes.
Please, it is high density that you can do what? Autoclave easily. Now, polyethylene containers are most commonly used as ophthalmic preparation containers. Please note that point too. Let's look at PVC. We have PVC. You'll be hearing PVC, right? Polyvinyl chloride. PVC, they are less flexible, they are heavier, and they are more permeable to water vapor than polyethylene. They are more permeable to water vapor than what? Polyethylene. And they have high clarity. They are not affected by sunlight. In as much as they are generally what? Not generally what? They are less flexible. But the flexible ones are the one we use mainly in what? Intravenous bags. You know that point. So your intravenous bag is what? PVC, okay? Have you seen why your sachet water is what? That plastic for your sachet water is PVC. Yeah, have you seen why it's under PVC? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Even though it's a bit lighter than what? That of what is it called? That of
Intravenous.
intravenous. But there are some company. If you see their own, there's one pharmaceutical company I like their sachet water. If you see their own, is the nylon. I said nylon. The PVC is thick. It's thick. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So let's look at. So that means PVC is intravenous bag made up of what? PVC. Okay. Let's look at polystyrene. PS. Polystyrene are very what? Hard, rigid, and light. There's some containers that are white. You normally see. They are hard though, are rigid, but are what? Light. They can be easily molded to any shape. They are normally used for bottles, tubes, ointment, cream jars, boxes, and what? Syringes. So your syringe is what? Poly what? Styrene. And there are some containers for ointment cream that looks like that too. If you touch it, you know. There are some for what? Tubes. Even some bottles that look like that. So let's look at polymethyl methacrylate, PMMA. Polymethyl methacrylate. Polymethyl methacrylate is hard, strong, light, and what? Transparent. It's hard, strong, light, and transparent. It softens at a temperature of about 100 degrees Celsius. So if the temperature is get to 100 degrees Celsius, can be what? It softens. They are used to prepare bottles and what? Tubes. Polycarbonates. Polycarbonates, they are what? Polycarbonate is what? Transparent. It has high impact strength, and it also has high heat resistance, so it can resist heat. So this one now is normally used for what? To prepare surgical what? Equipment. Please, all these surgical equipment that you see as plastic, they are normally prepared with what? carbonate. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
They are also used in blood oxygenators. They are also used in blood reservoirs and even in blood filters, as you can see on the pictures. Now let's look at the types of plastic containers. So let's look at types of plastic containers. So we have your plastic ampoules, plastic vials, plastic tubes, plastic syringe, then PVC collapsible bag. We also have semi-rigid what? Polythene. Semi-rigid what? Polythene. So let's look at plastic ampoules. I'm not going deep into this. You can see their pictures, right?
Yes.
I'm not going deep into it. I'll just use advantages and disadvantages of plastic ampoules to describe this, okay? Now, let's look at advantages and disadvantages of plastic ampoules. So, let's start with advantages. Plastic ampoules break easily. So you can easily do what? Break them. So breaking is easy, no shred. You can see the pieces, right?
Yes.
And no sharp edges. So you know, if you open up glass, if you're not careful, you can enjoy it. True of us.
True.
And there's no what? There's no sharp edges, and there's no danger of scars or cuts on the skin. True of us. So it's an advantage. Plastic ampoules are also non-fragile. So because they are non-fragile, there's no need for special handling with care when you are dealing with them. When you are shipping them, but that doesn't mean you should be, because they say that there's no need for you. You have to respect the stroke human being take, pack it to do the right thing, but you will not be too scared of what breaking. That's the point that we are trying to make. So if you want to filling it does not need expensive and hazardous what technology or flame welding. In fact, to fill ampoule, you need it's not what you need, at least some special technology, unlike this plastic ampoule. Is that clear? So you don't need, if you want to fill it, you don't need expensive and hazardous technology of flame welding. Then for plastic, the raw materials and are environmental friendly, and you can easily do recycle them. True of us, you can recycle them. Then another advantage is that it is easy and energy efficient on automatic process machines with high decision precision. It is easy and energy efficient on automatic process machines with high dosing precision. So it's very easy, and it has a very high dosing precision, especially when using automatic process machines. Now let's go to the disadvantages. Plastic are not as transparent as glass. True of us? They are not. Leaching may occur. Is not true? Leaching may occur, but leaching does not occur in glass, provided you choose the right glass container for the particular product, not the one that will be reacting with the product. You will not have leaching. But if you have, let me ask another question now. If you have a glass container that's made up of untreated soda lime, then you now put aqueous liquid preparation inside the container. What will happen?
It will the alkaline.
The surface alkaline oxide will, true of us, it react with the soup. Is that not, even though they didn't name it, but is that not leaching? because this alkaline is part of the what? The glass. It not true of us. So that means provided that you use the right glass container, container is less like glass is less likely to do that, because unless you can decide to choose another container, another glass. True of us, you can decide to go to type 1 or type 2. In fact, the best is to go to type 2. Type 1 is when you have no other choice. Then you go to type 1. So plastics are difficult to do what? Sterilize. It's a problem too. And they cannot tolerate high temperature range. They cannot do what? Tolerate high temperature range. So these are the one you can take on plastic ampoules. Let's look at plastic vials. So plastic vials are often used to store medications in liquid, powder, or capsule form. They often used to store medications in liquid, powder, or what? Capsule form. And they're also used as sample vessels. You know what sample vessels are? Those vessels used to collect blood samples. Not a blood sample. Maybe someone want to urinate. Maybe they want to carry out tests. Three of us, the person will not urinate, but it has become a sample now. Three of us, or maybe they want to check the sputum, maybe for tuberculosis or something. The person will now pour the spit, right, or sputum inside the container. That's so all those ones are what we call what? Sample what? Bottle. Is that clear? So plastic vials are made up of mainly what? Polypropylene. Please note that point. Poly what? Propylene. Let's look at plastic tube. Plastic tube. Plastic tubes are less expensive. Plastic tubes are less expensive and safer than glass tube. They are less expensive and safer than glass tube. Why? Because they are less likely to do what? Break. They are less likely to do what? Break. Then, plastic tube influences the measured concentration or stabilities of what? Drugs. Now, plastic tubes are normally used for blood collection tube. And the plastic tube are actually gradually, in fact, progressively, not even gradually, replacing the glass tube for this purpose. So you rarely see people using glass tube. They use more of what? Plastic tube to collect what? Blood sample. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now let's look at plastic syringe. What is a syringe? What is a syringe? What is a syringe? A syringe is a simple pump that consists of a plunger that fits tightly in a barrel. Can you see the picture of syringe there? It's not here. What happened? How come? Okay, let's continue. Sorry. You saw it, right? Okay. Of course, you've seen it in real life now, right? How it looks like. Okay. I would have asked people to bring, or I would have brought, but it has a pump. It's a simple pump that consists of what? Plunger that fits tightly in a what? Barrel. Now, the plunger can be pulled. That one you do like this, or push. Is that clear? Pull it or push. Is that clear? That is the what? The plunger. It can be pulled or pushed along inside the cylindrical barrel. That's. Look at the box. This is your syringe, right? Right? That's one you, right? It moves inside. Maybe it can be halfway. You push it. This is where the needle is fixed, right? This is the what? Plunger. And this is the barrel. Plunger is like this. It will go inside the barrel, push it, pull it. Is that clear? Now, that's the plunger. This is plunger, this is the barrel. So the plunger can be pulled or pushed along inside the what? Cylindrical what? Barrel. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So the movement or this movement allows the syringe to do what? Taking. So if you pull it, it will take in what? Sample, right? Liquid, sample, drug, medicine, right? Then if you now want to inject, you push it, right? It will not inject. True or false? So this movement through the what? Barrel allows the syringe to take in and expel liquid or gas to the barrel orifice. So this is barrel what? Orifice. Now, sometimes the barrel orifice can just be there, or sometimes it can be fitted with what? Hypodermic what? Needle. Hope you know. In the syringe they used to give children drug. Does it have hypodermic needle? It does not. It's only the what you see is the barrel orifice. Orifice. Opening mouth of the what? Barrel. You see a barrel orifice. You remember that your hypodermic needle is take this shape. This is the metal part. This is a plastic part. True or false? Is this plastic part that you use to cover this barrel orifice? That you use to cover the barrel what? Orifice. Are we together? Are we together? So now, if you fit it now, it will cover the barrel what? Orifice. Now, so the barrel of the orifice may be fitted with hypodermic syringe, so which helps to direct the flow into and out of the what? Barrel. Now, syringes are used to administer injections. That this one is common, and infuse intravenous drugs into the blood stream. True or false? True or false? Even IM, not only intravenous. So this is how plastic. There are some medications that are packaged as plastic in plastic what? Syringe. They are packaged like that in plastic what? Syringe. So let's look at PVC collapsible bag. Let's look at PVC collapsible bag. So PVC collapsible bag is part of what? The large volume parenteral. I have talked about it, right? True or false?
True.
Remember that large volume parenteral can be administered 100 ml to 1000 ml per day. So they are used to pack most of the infusion what? Fluid, IVF. They are used to pack most of the IVFs. Okay? The PVC collapsible bag has an attachment port for the attachment of the administrative set and an additive port for the addition of small volume parenteral fluids. Are you aware that inside this injection bag, inside this PVC, that your infusion, that big bottle of your infusion, there are two ports. We call ports: attachment port and additive port. You can add something inside it. True or false? Like an example, give me an example of some medication that they normally add if they are giving infusion.
They can be complex. They can add promethazine.
Okay. Can they add metro?
Metro.
Infusion.
It depends on the infusion.
Okay.
Because so that it depends on the infusion that the person is taking.
Okay.
So that it will not react to it.
Okay. All right. So now, I want to know that it has an additive port, attachment port, and what? Additive what? Port. So attachment port is for the attachment of the administrative set. You know the set now?
Yes.
The giving set, right? Then the additive port is for the addition of what? Small volume what? Parenteral fluids. Ethylene vinyl acetate, EVA. Ethynyl vinyl acetate, EVA film, is also used in the production of what? Flexible, collapsible bags. So it's not only what? PVC, okay? You can also use what? EVA. EVA is what? Ethylene vinyl acetate, the film. They also have another one I want us to look at is semi-rigid polyethylene container. Semi-rigid polyethylene what? Container. Semi-rigid polyethylene container. So this one is used for different volumes of parenterals. 100 ml for electrolyte solutions. We have 3 liter for total parenteral nutrition. Have I talked about total parenteral nutrition in this class? Where somebody is unconscious and the person cannot eat, they will now use, you know that all this food you eat, they are broken down as nutrients before they will be absorbed. So that, and if these nutrients are absorbed, they will go to the bloodstream before they now go to where the cells. Due to the fact that this ingredient, people cannot eat. So if they cannot eat, what will we digest? Nothing. So they will now bypass that digestion, whatever, and prepare the nutrient of that. Is nutrient now that they prepare as infusion. They will now put it in the, so the nutrient is entering the bloodstream and going to the cells. We call it total parenteral nutrition, TPN. So I'm saying here that semi-rigid polyethylene container can also be used for what? To package 3 liter of what? Total parenteral nutrition solution. And they can also be used up to 5 ml for dialysis solution, up to 5 ml. Now let's look at sterilization of what? Plastic containers. So we look at the sterilization method and look at the sterilization condition. Now, moist heat method are normally used for 121 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Dry heat for 160 to 180 degrees Celsius for 1 to 3 hours. Gaseous sterilization, this one now, ethylene oxide is applied with negative pressure, or even or inert gas can be used here for gaseous sterilization. Then we have chemical disinfectants here, things like formalin can be used, chemical disinfectants. We are not going deep into this, I'm just mentioning it, okay? So I don't go beyond your scope, but you on your please time you can actually, in fact I am already going deeper than you, but it's good I go to this extent. The other ones you can, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let's look at tests for plastic containers. We have the different tests. We have leakage test. You know what leakage is now? We have water permeability test. We have collapsibility test. We have clarity test. And we have biological toxicity what? Test. So let's conclude with advantages and what? Disadvantages of what? Plastic containers. So let's look at advantages. So plastic containers are light in weight. So because of that, they can be handled what? Easily. True or false?
True.
They are light. And they are what? Easily what? Transported. So they are not heavy. They do not break what? Easily. Unlike glass. True or false?
True.
And they are available in various forms and shapes. There are a lot of plastics. So they are available in various forms and what? Shapes. They are free to design and easy to do what? Produce. They are resistant to inorganic chemistry. Please know that point.
Chemical.
I say chemistry. Please, what am I thinking? Am I feeling sleepy again? They are what? Resistant to what? Inorganic chemicals. Please know that point. And they are flexible and what? Durable. They are flexible and what? Durable. So what are the disadvantages of plastic containers? They are poor conductors of what? Heat. They may absorb chemical substances such as preservative. We have discussed that. True of us. And they are permeable to water vapor. We have discussed that. And even atmospheric what? Gases. They are relatively what? Expensive. They are what? Relatively expensive. Do you have any question? That's the end of plastic containers. In our next lecture, we move over to metal containers. Any question? Do you have any question to ask? Please, if yeah, please ask. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Any question? No question. All right, thank you very much for your attention. God bless you.